I am the faded, forgotten white moonlight of a tormented male lead. 7 years after I severed the tether to his story, the system dragged itself back into my mind, its voice a static-laced intrusion. The narrative is collapsing. Leo is regressing. Your presence is required to stabilize him. I refused. Flatly. Let some other soul play the savior. I have my own life to live. Then came the diagnosis. Glioblastoma, an inoperable, aggressive brain tumor. The prognosis was a brutal countdown clock ticking in my skull. The system returned, its digital tone almost smug. Access to advanced medical treatment is available in the narrative world. A full cure is achievable. Accept the mission, and treatment begins immediately. Before I could form a response, my vision fractured. A cascade of floating comments scrolled across my sight, a chaotic, transparent live stream from an audience I never knew I had. LMAO, the system is desperate. It'll do anything to get the X back. OFC, it has no choice. Leo's obsession is derailing the whole plot. He won't even acknowledge the new heroine. Exactly. He needs to see how washed up and pathetic she's become. Only a rotted-out Dawn can kill the memory of a perfect one. The only cure for a white moonlight is to show him she's turned to mold. I blinked, trying to clear the invasive text. The system's presence became a palpable, anxious hum in my mind. Host, why hesitate? Since your departure, Leo's world has advanced exponentially. The cure rate for your condition there exceeds 85%. Accept, and you'll be admitted to the finest medical facility immediately. The offer was a siren's call. Yet I balked. The comments kept coming, a relentless tide of cynicism. The system is totally using her. She's just a tool to shatter his illusions so the new girl can step into the light. A transactional tragedy. She gets to live, but only if she agrees to be the villain in her own love story. Win-win. He gets closure. She gets a cure. Harsh but fair. I took a shaky breath. Will Leo even know I've returned? The system faltered, its data streams flickering. Well, an encounter is statistically probable. But do not worry.
He has moved on.
It is of no consequence. We have already secured his new savior. Their bond is stable. A holographic screen materialized before me, displaying a side-by-side comparison. On the left was me, 7 years ago. Vibrant, soft-eyed, the very picture of gentle resilience. On the right was a recent photo from my driver's license. Pale, thin, with shadows under my eyes that no amount of sleep could erase. Hi guys! Please subscribe to support the channel and get all your completed novels and full stories in one place. Analysis complete, the system stated. Then, optimal parameters for salvation narrative. Personality, appearance, temperament. All calibrated to perfection. Now, significant degradation. Probability of rekindled romantic attachment, 0.0001%. I agreed. My motives were irrelevant. Survival was the only thing that mattered. The system emitted a wave of palpable relief and, without another word, pulled me from the sterile chill of my oncologist's office and deposited me directly into the warm, antiseptic-scented air of a hospital in Leo's world. Outside the consultation room window, a sleek, silent monorail glided past towering spires of chrome and glass. The floating comments provided a jarring narration. They look so good together. The new heroine actually healed him after the ex abandoned him. Finally, we can see some real romance now that the obstacle is back to be removed. Hurry up and let him see her so he can move on. The chatter cut off abruptly as the door opened. A young woman in a crisp white coat entered, her smile as warm and genuine as a summer morning. Hello, Miss Ava. I'm Dr. Isabel Reed. I'll be overseeing your treatment. Isabel. The name triggered a faint chime of recognition, but I couldn't place it. I offered a polite, brittle smile and shook her hand. Holy shit, the system is savage. Pitting the new heroine against the ex-wife. Side-by-side comparison is brutal. The difference is night and day. No way he could ever have loved her. Once he sees what she is now, the choice will be obvious. I studied Isabel as she reviewed my charts. She was the second savior, the replacement. She did share a superficial resemblance to my former self, the same dark hair, similar height. But where I had been quiet intensity, she was open sunshine. She was kind, undeniably beautiful, and radiated a vitality I could only remember. No wonder the system had chosen her. No wonder Leo had been drawn to her. She looked up from her tablet, her expression professionally sympathetic. Stage for glioma. It's quite advanced, but we have treatments here that are incredibly effective. The process won't be easy, but I'll do everything I can to keep you comfortable. I nodded, about to offer a tired word of thanks, when a knock echoed through the room. Isabel's face lit up. She moved to the door, expecting a colleague. I looked down, fidgeting with a stylus on the desk. Then, a voice, deep and laced with a familiar, easy warmth, rang out. Belle? You still on duty? The stylus slipped from my numb fingers and clattered to the floor. My mind went utterly blank for a full 10 seconds. Slowly, I bent to retrieve it. From my crouched position, I saw a man leaning casually against the doorframe. He was taller, his shoulders broader, the boyish leanness of his youth replaced by the powerful build of a man in his prime. But the sharp line of his jaw, the way his dark hair fell over his brow, it was him. Just finishing up with a patient, Isabel said, her voice bright. The room fell into a silence, so deep I could hear the blood pounding in my ears. Leo's gaze, which had been fixed on Isabel, flickered toward me. His voice was soft, devoid of any inflection. I won't intrude. I closed my eyes. The comments burned against my eyelids. LOL. Does she think he recognized her? Look at her, cowering on the floor. He wouldn't know her if she introduced herself. This is the first time he's picked up Isabel from work. So sweet. If the ex wasn't here, this would be such a romantic moment. Reality snapped back as Isabel closed the door, her smile a little flustered. She quickly processed my admission paperwork before gathering her things. The nurses will get you settled. I'll see you for rounds in the morning. I just stood by the window, watching until a low-slung, electric-powered sports car, a model that didn't exist in my world, pulled silently away from the curb. The nurse who came to draw my blood later whispered, "That was Dr. Reed's boyfriend." In the ether X, gorgeous, isn't he? Boyfriend. I murmured, the word ash in my mouth. Not official yet, she confided, her eyes full of pity. But it's only a matter of time. So, where's your family? Any boyfriend waiting for you back home? Single, I said flatly. My entire life. The next morning, Isabel arrived for her rounds, a delicate bracelet of woven silver and moonstones adorning her wrist. Noticing my gaze, she blushed. A birthday gift from a friend. Silly, really. I smiled, a silent, hollow thing. That moonstone bracelet. He gave the same token to the ex. He just gifted it to the new girl. The symbolism. I remember when he gave it to Ava. She was so pure, so in love. She was my white moonlight, too. The memories, long buried, began to surface like drowned things. I was back in the years I'd spent trying to save Leo. Orphaned and left with an uncle who saw him as a burden, he had been systematically broken, beaten, neglected, and left with a bitterness that poisoned his view of the world. Cynicism was his armor, and cruelty his first language. Back then, I was just a scholarship student, a shadow in his prestigious private school. For 3 years, I tried to chip away at the ice around his heart, managing to gain a paltry 10% of his affection. After graduation, Leo was destined for the nation's top university. But his uncle, greedy and short-sighted, embezzled his tuition money, forging withdrawal documents to cover his tracks. The night the system first awakened me, Leo was on the brink. I found him on the roof of our school, standing perilously close to the edge, the city lights a dizzying abyss below. I was only 18. I had no wisdom, no profound words to lure a paranoid soul back from the precipice. But I knew one thing. People who want to die don't crave oblivion. They crave a reason not to. Summoning every ounce of courage, I tugged at the sleeve of his worn leather jacket. I like you. Please don't go. His eyes, when they met mine, were weary and frozen over. I don't believe you. Believe me, I'd pleaded, standing on my toes and pressing my lips to his in a clumsy, desperate kiss. Do you believe me now? He'd frozen, and I'd wrapped my arms around him, tears I hadn't known I was holding back streaming down my face. So, what if he stole your future? We'll make a new one. I'll get a job. I'll support us. You're the most important person in the world to me. If you go, I go too. For 5 years, I stayed. We built a life from the ground up. At our lowest, we shared a single room in a boarding house, surviving on instant noodles and the heat of our shared ambition. Leo, the aloof, untouchable heir, learned gentleness. Knowing I was a hopeless cook, he learned to prepare every one of my favorite dishes. The day I left, I made him a simple bowl of congee. He ate it quietly, his eyes red-rimmed.
He didn't beg me to stay. He didn't ask for more time.
He just tugged gently at the hem of my shirt, his voice humbled. Wait for me. I'll find a way to your world. Don't forget about me. Okay, I'd whispered, wiping his tears with my thumb. Work hard. Then come and find me. I'll be waiting. Chemotherapy was a special kind of hell. The anti-nausea drugs failed, and pain clenched my stomach in a vice, forcing me to bite down on a towel to stay silent. Isabel was supposed to be on night duty, but halfway through the night, she vanished. The comments told me why. Leo felt guilty she was working late, so he came to keep her company. Ship it. He cares so much. Confirmed. VIP room official tonight. Does this mean the ex gets her reality check? I fell into a fitful sleep. In my dream, I was back on that rooftop 7 years ago. Leo stood there, waiting. His eyes lit up when he saw me, and he ran forward without hesitation. I slapped him across the face, the crack echoing in the thin air. He stopped, wiped his mouth, and smiled, reaching for me again. Hit me all you want. Just come back. I didn't come back to save you, I said, my voice colder than the rooftop wind. 7 years is a long time. I have my own life. Why should I revolve around you? Leo froze. The warmth drained from his face, leaving it pale and stark. You said you'd wait, he whispered, the disbelief a raw wound. People change their minds, I replied, staring him down. I don't love you anymore. I won't save you. Whether you live or die doesn't concern me. The silence stretched, the wind whipping my hair. Leo gripped my arm, his whole body trembling.
Why?
You promised you'd come back. I'm strong now. I have more money than I could ever spend. You'll never want for anything. Come back, and I'll give you everything. I interrupted him with a sharp smirk. Who says a person can only love once in a lifetime? I shoved him away, sneering. You're so conceited. I woke with a start, nausea twisting my gut. I pressed the call button, but no one came. Staggering out of bed, I went to find a nurse. Pushing open the door to a small office, I froze at the sound of a low, tense conversation. Do you like me or not? It was Isabel, and she was tugging at Leo's sleeve, frustration edging her voice. You've rejected every one of my advances. I know you feel something. What's stopping you? I barely had time to retreat. A wave of nausea overwhelmed me, and I fell to my knees, retching violently into a nearby wastebasket. Leo's gaze found me. A wall of comments obscured my view. Ew, gross. She's looking for a nurse, but puking in the office. Is the ex sabotaging the moment on purpose? Where is my pure, white moonlight? Would he even recognize this messy woman as her? I had no strength to see if there was a flicker of recognition in his eyes. I only knew he tilted his head slightly, watching me dispassionately. Need help? His tone was flat, distant. I shook my head, clutching my stomach. He walked away without another word. Nurses finally arrived, clucking their tongues as they cleaned the mess. When Isabel entered, I was still on the floor. Her eyes avoided mine. I was looking for a nurse, but I couldn't find one, she said with a forced, bright laugh. I nodded. That was your boyfriend? You look good together. Not yet, she pouted. People say his ex was even prettier than me. She was beautiful, I said honestly. So are you. Confidence is more attractive than any comparison. Isabel seemed unconvinced. I went to wash my face but paused at the door. Leo hadn't left. He was leaning against the wall just outside, an unlit cigarette in his hand, observing me with a cool, detached expression. Long time no see, he said, his voice devoid of warmth. Why come back? To be annoying? I'm sick. I'm here for treatment, I replied, my head lowered. He grabbed my wrist, pulling me closer. His grip was like iron. Running away to my world for a cure? You think I'm still the one you can manipulate? He sneered. Isabel approached, her eyes wide as she observed us. You two know each other? I laughed awkwardly. We. Not well, Leo interjected, his eyes still locked on me. Isabel studied me for a long moment before turning back to Leo. We haven't finished our conversation. Let's go outside. But my chemo wasn't done. I stood there, an awkward statue. Leo released her arm. You're busy. I won't disturb you. Isabel tried to protest. But we agreed to see the symphony tonight. His icy gaze silenced her. Flushing with embarrassment, she softened as he added, Work first. There will be plenty of time later. Isabel reluctantly stayed to monitor the rest of my treatment. After that night, the side effects lessened considerably. The nurses whispered that Leo's tech conglomerate, Ethelgard Industries, was pioneering new medical tech, including a nearly painless chemotherapy process. After the first session of the new protocol, I could actually keep food down. The hospital had a small patient kitchen, usually bustling with families during the day. I ventured there late one night, hoping to make some tea. Unexpectedly, Leo was there. An apron was tied over his expensive, tailored trousers and shirt, his broad shoulders and narrow waist silhouetted against the stainless steel. The way he moved a sauté pan with practiced ease was strangely, profoundly alluring. In the past, I would have sneaked up behind him, wrapped my arms around his waist, and distracted him with kisses until the food was nearly burnt. Leo noticed me, one eyebrow raised. Don't overthink it. Just happened to be hungry. You can cook, he drawled. Can't even tell sugar from salt, I admitted. Don't poison yourself. He packed the food, stir-fried greens, lotus root soup, steamed fish, into a container, the aroma making my mouth water. I glanced at the plain rice crackers in my hand and lost my appetite. My eyes caught on a small, familiar charm hanging from his phone, a tiny, sculpted moonstone, a match to the bracelet he'd given Isabel. A pang of nostalgia, sharp and acidic, hit me. The ex is delusional. That's part of the phone case. He was probably going to surprise Isabel, but she wasn't on duty. Leo tapped the container. Want it? Some greens.
Soup. Fish.
Every dish was a favorite from a lifetime ago. My throat tightened. If I eat this, what about the person it was made for? I ordered her takeout, he replied, his voice flat. No point in wasting good food. Refusing felt churlish. It had been years since I'd tasted anything he cooked. Who would have guessed the ruthless tech titan could outcook half the city's chefs? I ate, I said, offering polite praise. It's very good. Leo barely reacted, his attention on a stream of messages lighting up his phone. The dark circles under his eyes were pronounced. Did you eat? I asked softly.
No.
He set his phone down and looked at me.
What?
Going to lecture me about work-life balance.
Be serious now, I said.
Health is everything. You don't want to end up like me, sick young and having achieved nothing. He fell silent for a beat, then let out a soft, derisive scoff. You can't even manage your own health, yet you think you can lecture me? You ate what I made. Shouldn't you repay me? I hesitated. What do you want? He paused. Noodles. Then his expression cooled, as if he'd revealed too much. The kind you cooked the day you left. He's chasing closure. Do not overthink it, ex-wife. Just make the noodles. At least she knows when to walk away. She cooked, then left. No clinginess. He usually only drinks protein shakes. Why did he finish that entire bowl? The next morning, Isabel practically floated down the hall. She lifted a lunchbox with pride. Leo made this for me himself. I watched it float past me, my hand resting on my stomach where I could still feel the ghost of his cooking. During her lunch break, she sat beside me. She tasted the stir-fried vegetables, frowned, and spat them delicately back into the container. So bland. She pushed the container toward me. Here, you try it. Is something wrong with my taste buds? I took a small bite. It was perfectly seasoned just the way I liked it. He's probably swamped, I reassured her. The fact that he cooks for you at all means he cares. Flavors can be off when someone is tired. That seemed to comfort her. She refused to eat the rest and handed the whole container to me. Victory! Free meal for the ex. After that, Leo sent food every day. It was always seasoned in ways Isabel disliked, which meant I ended up eating all of it. It became a quiet, unacknowledged routine. I gained weight. My cheeks filled out. The hollows under my eyes softened. I looked years younger. Even the nurse commented, "You look gorgeous now that you're eating properly." Mouth full of his braised beef. I joked. Naturally. I've got people lining up to date me back home. A cool voice sounded behind me. How many? I stuffed in another bite. From here to Tokyo. A short, cold laugh answered me. I turned. Leo stood there, hands in his pockets, his expression unreadable. Is my cooking that good? My brain short-circuited. The system, silent for so long, flickered back to life. It shrieked. Why is his animosity not dropping? It's plateaued. Isn't hatred better than nothing? No, no, no. Zero love and zero animosity means he's let go. But right now, his animosity is at 950%. With his personality, seeing you sick and changed should have softened him. While it rambled, someone brushed a thumb across my lower lip. Is it that delicious? Leo's tone had a bite to it, but his eyes held a faint, dangerous smile. He leaned close, his breath warm against my ear. You got some on your face. Thinking of the system's warning, I said, It's good, but my boyfriend cooks better. Everything went still. Leo stared, his gaze turning to ice. That boyfriend from 4 years ago? Yes. He gave a thin, contemptuous sneer. For years, and still just a boyfriend, not a husband? Guilt flickered, and I leaned into it. I've been sick. When my treatment is done here, I can go back and marry him. I see. He said nothing more, turned on his heel, and walked away. The system cheered. Animosity dropped. Finally. Good job, host. Don't celebrate yet, I muttered. I pushed further. Isabel is too careless. I want a different doctor. That is not allowed. I cannot reassign the narrative's primary female lead. Then talk to your superior, I said slowly. You assign me to her so Leo would lose interest after comparing us, right? Is it working? The system started panicking. Host, what are you doing? The metrics are fluctuating wildly. I had it help me stage a scene. I found myself in a high-end lounge, the kind with plush velvet banquettes and low, thrumming music. I was dressed in a sequin dress that was too tight, too short, and entirely unlike me. The system trembled. Host, this is too cruel. I smiled faintly. The comments were everywhere. The ex-wife has officially hit rock bottom. The pure dawn has turned into a cheap glitter bomb. The male lead is at this venue today for a business meeting. Will he see her? He needs to see her like this. It'll finally kill the fantasy. He would see me. He would choose me. The door to the private booth slid open. Leo strode in, surrounded by a group of clean-cut executives, a wolf among wolves. The manager hurried up. Mr. Thorne, since you're here, let me introduce our most engaging new hostesses. Leo leaned back, elbow on the armrest, scanning the painted faces with palpable boredom. Then his gaze landed on me. The manager began. This one is new. Very good with drinks. The clients all love. Leo started to laugh. It was a cold, low, humorless sound. A vein pulsed in his temple. He lifted his chin toward me.
Fine.
I'll take her. The room cleared out the moment he snapped his fingers. In the sudden, deafening silence, the system buzzed inside my mind. Congrats. Animosity has dropped again. If it reaches 0, he'll finally be over you. Keep going. Animosity dropped. I blinked at the man lurking in the shadows, the dark intensity in his gaze like he could devour me whole. Why aren't you coming over? He said, voice flat. Good at drinking? Come drink with me. I approached slowly, pouring a glass of amber liquid and offering it to him. He drank it straight from my hand. Aren't you drinking? Before I could bring the glass to my lips, he snatched it and smashed it on the floor. Shards scattered near my knees. You dare drink. The dim light caught the sharp, angry lines of his face as he grabbed my shoulders. Chemo patients shouldn't touch alcohol until phase 4 is complete. And you just finished phase 3, risking your life for money. I froze. How did he know my treatment plans so precisely? Even the comments noticed. Wait, he's worried. After all this, he's still mad. Is this the breaking point? I bit my lip, avoiding his eyes. I needed the money. My boyfriend lost a fortune. I had to come here. No one knows me in this world. You've lost your mind. Leo laughed, a sharp, angry sound. You weren't this devoted when you were mine. His presence surrounded me, dangerous and magnetic. He leaned in close, his voice a low, commanding whisper. What's so good about him? Let me see. Host. Animosity is nearly 0. The system shrieked. I studied my trembling reflection in the dark screen of a monitor. He isn't better than you, I whispered. But I love him. Leo froze. Then suddenly, he grasped my chin and kissed me. My mind went blank. Comments scrolled frantically. WTF? He faked the hate. He still loves her. No wonder he rejected the new girl. This isn't closure, it's obsession. System fail. Sent the ex back to ruin the new romance and ended up reigniting the old one. Leo's kiss was fierce, full of a raging, desperate longing, as if he wanted to brand me, to drown us both in a decade of pent-up emotion. My body betrayed me. I trembled. I have a boyfriend. I gasped when I could speak. He stared at me, a wild panic in his eyes now. His grip tightened. You're single here, aren't you? He was insane. I called for the system internally, but he just pressed me closer, our bodies entangled on the small velvet sofa. Animosity 0, the system muttered, utterly dejected. Love spiked to 100% in a nanosecond. He never stopped. He tricked us all. Leo took me to a penthouse apartment, all clean lines and floor-to-ceiling windows that looked out over the glittering city he had built. This is your home, he said, not looking at me. You said you wanted a view of the sky. I bought it. He'd arranged for a private medical suite to be installed. My team will come here. You can get your treatment in comfort. Everything was curated to my forgotten preferences. The minimalist furniture, the specific brand of tea in the cupboard, the collection of sea glass on the windowsill I'd once mentioned loving. He remembered it all. I looked at him. What about Isabel? Jealous. His eyes glimmered. He pinched my earlobe playfully. Then his voice went cold. She was useful. I frowned. Don't hurt innocent people. She's not innocent, he said, his eyes darkening. If the system tried to force you away again, she was the contingency. She dies. I pressed my hand over his, fear a cold knot in my chest. Don't be rash. The system doesn't care about human lives. What about her family? I asked. He smirked, a cruel, satisfied twist of his lips. Her replacement in the real world is a trust fund socialite. In this world, her medical negligence led to patient fatalities. She was about to be exposed. I couldn't read his expression. Suddenly, a wave of interference hit my mind. Isabel's crying voice pierced through it. System, help. I've been detained. I just wanted to date a powerful, hot guy. The system stuttered, its signal weak. The male lead has you. He's threatening the narrative's stability. Isabel's rage flared. He still loves her? I'm prettier. I come from a better family. What spell did she use on him? She cried again.
Fine. He's cold anyway.
I only liked his face and his money. I want to go home. You can, the system replied. But the energy cost is high. We would have to trade your parents' life essence to facilitate the transfer.
What? Why?
Yes, I thought, meeting Leo's complex, swirling gaze.
Why?
He kissed me, gently this time. After you left, I couldn't let go. I hated that I couldn't forget you. But I needed to know you were alive. He had poured his fortune into research, his team cracking the code on dimensional barriers. It was unstable, yes. But it was enough to watch your world. You weren't doing well, he said, his eyes glinting with a feral red light. You were being ground down, and I was powerless to stop it. I stayed silent.
He was right.
My life had been a series of failures. My mother, misdiagnosed by a careless doctor, her benign condition turning terminal. I spent every last penny on experimental treatments that did nothing. Then, in my final year of my doctorate, my research, years of sleepless work, was stolen and published by my advisor. My career was over before it began. Then the system found me, tasking me with saving Leo once more. I hadn't known it was all his design. I was so exhausted, so desperate, I barely wanted to save myself, let alone another broken soul. As it turned out, the doctor who misdiagnosed my mother was Isabel's aunt. The professor who stole my work was her father. She had walked the same path of privilege and corruption, faking her way through medical school, using her family's connections to land a prime residency. Luckily, she'd entered the system world before she could do any real harm. Or rather, Leo had lured her in. I wanted to trade her to the system to get you back, he whispered in my ear, his voice muffled with a dark laugh. Then lock you here forever. I hated you. I wanted to chain you to my side. Who cared if you loved me? You had to suffer like I had. That would have been fair. He let me go. But seeing you now, all those thoughts vanished. If you're not happy, nothing I do matters. Isabel's parents entered the system in a desperate bid to rescue their daughter. They never emerged. Without their influence, Isabel became an ordinary, mediocre student. We never saw her again. The day I remarried Leo, the comments floated across my vision one last time. Round and round we go, right back to the toxic tropes. The male lead played us all. Whatever. The second female lead wasn't that great either. I can't stand nepotism babies. The original heroine suffered so much, though. Who said she was rotten? A rotted-out dawn is still a dawn. Some light you just can't extinguish.
The end.